Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 246. 8, who do we appreciate? 2468, who do we appreciate? You'll notice that we just had a drop in open, no music, and we got this silly little powered by EV Mux in the corner. It's because I don't have the subscription right now because, well, I'm broke. That's okay. Y'all aren't here for fancy intros or no logos up in the corner. What you're here is to listen to Reese and me just ramble about random stuff. Um, Fair warning, Reese has got a bit of a lag problem because he lives in the sticks now. It's about 30 seconds from the time I talk to the time he's going to respond. Um, might be able to fix it by not having the camera on. I'm not sure. We'll see. Um, but yeah, we're going to talk tonight, at least attempt to talk about the games and the companies and the stuff that we like in the gaming sphere, as it were. Um, the hobosphere, hobby sphere, anyway, you know what I mean. We got Chris Long in the house, Mandarin Mike's in the house, Telemachus, people saying hello. Charles is here. Reese, you need more peanut butter cups, apparently. What he needs is better soup cans and string. So, be that as it may. I hope everybody has had a good weekend or week. I had a pretty good week last Thursday. Went over to my buddy Brad's house and we played some Fistful of Toes. We had Soviets versus the Allies, circa about 1985. Soviets had a motor rifle, mechanized rifle battalion with infantry and a company of T 72s. And then the Americans had a company sized mixed team of one platoon of German Volksgrenadiers, and then a platoon of Leopards. Then reinforcements of the Americans coming in with a platoon and headquarters section of M60s and two M2 Bradley, M2 or M3, whichever is the cavalry fighting vehicle. Two platoons of those, and we lost. The Allies lost two M2s, three M2s, and two squads of infantry, and there were no T-72s, and all of the BRDMs were gone. There were some BMPs left, so yeah, it was pretty good. Well, Chris Long, he is working on getting a resolution to his internet issue. Hopefully, this Friday, that resolution will come to pass. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Starlink would be wonderful, but the fact is I have a giant cliff to the north of me that prohibits me from getting a clean picture.
Wouldn't it need to be to the south? So it's like talking to the moon.
For some reason, I think the moon probably has better connection.
Yeah. Ground control to Major Tom. Yeah, if he doesn't move, the picture improves. Anywho, so we played that. Didn't have any gaming this past weekend, but tomorrow, headed back over to Brad's and we're going to play Memoir 44. That should be fun. I've never played it. Obviously, I've played the Commands and Colors, several versions of it, but I've never played Memoir 44. And then this Saturday, we've got Smoked Lard. It's a lardy event, two fat lardy games of all permutations at the Liberty Memorial World War One Museum. Uh, Copeland and Joel and I are going to be putting on What a Tanker all day. We're going to set it up to where people can, you know, come in and come out as they see fit. It's just going to be Allies versus Germans. Do our best to keep equivalent numbers on the table. And when a tank blows up, if we've got a line of people wanting to play, that player removes himself. A new player comes on with a new vehicle, um, and just rotate through. So that's what the plan is on Saturday. Start at 9, end at 5. Um, if you happen to be in the Kansas City area this weekend, I don't know why you would be, but if you are, come on down. It doesn't cost anything to get into the gaming event. Um, the organizer has foot the bill himself. He is willing to take donations, of course, to help defray the cost. But yeah, he he just wanted to see if he could get something put together, and might be able to go into looking at this maybe as something in the future, as something that becomes an annual thing. We'll have to see. And then Sunday, going back over to Brad's to play our Star Trek role playing game, Star Trek Adventures. So that should be pretty good. And then next week, I'll delve into that. But I've got gaming going all weekend long next weekend, starting with Thursday night as normal. Then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, my brother is in town, and we're going to be gaming all 3 days. So it's going to be good stuff. Um, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I got to notice that recording has stopped on my free plan. I don't care. As long as y'all can still see me, I don't care about recordings. It's being recorded on YouTube. So, um, Chris Long has finished his Moroccan force for SCW by doing 2 flags I got from the UK. There you go. Outstanding. Good to hear. So, um, what I'm working on now is I'm doing my best to work with uh, some uh, quick dry craft bond Elmer's glue to use with my to use on my uh, miniatures here, seeing if I can't get some flocking down on them. Um, the problem is it's not very liquidy, so it's not working real well. So I might have to set that aside for now, because what I'm needing to do is I'm needing to get get all of these guys based. My Bretonians, they need to get based. So I'm gonna set
You
them
might
aside
add a
for
little
now.
water and then paint it on with a watercolor brush.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I'm not gonna worry about that tonight. Um, I'll worry about that later. Um, What else has been going on? I've been working on some updates to Ocean Thunder. I have been working on getting more with um, it started off as Ocean Thunder in Space, but has grown to have a life of its own. Um, so I don't know what I'm calling it at this time, but it is being designed to be a full blown space combat game that is IP agnostic. So if you want to fight the Battlestar Galactica and the Rebel MC-80 against Star Destroyers and Cylon base stars with throwing in Federation and Klingons, you can. Um, so I'm working on that. I'm also a couple of years ago I was working on something I was calling "What a Seaman," which is what a tanker with Cold War subs. I'm readdressing that, making some changes to it. So yeah, I've got. I'm doing my best not to uh, magpie too much stuff. So we'll have to see. I did print up some subs to test out my What a Seaman. I'm gonna grab those real quick. I just pulled them off the printer. Um, like I'm going in to do an examination here. Hold on one second. Uh, let's see how these turned out. I scaled them to 1/1000. Uh, Primarily because I could not. I'm doing this because I could not find my 1/700th scale models because they're in storage somewhere. Um, so I'm dealing with that. Uh, but here we go. Here's what they're looking like. Oop. So here's an alpha class with cat fur. I think that looks pretty good. And
Cat fur
then
helps with noise dampening.
yes, it does. Yeah, it really does. And then here we have a Los Angeles class. Oh well, the for whatever reason the uh, aft fin, the bottom fin on it, either broke off or didn't print. But you know what? That's okay. It is what it is. Um, not a huge deal, I don't think. And then I did. I also printed up a the Soviets called it the Akula. We called it a Typhoon. That's a big mamma jamma there. Oop, hey, come back here. So these are going to get thrown into the get thrown into um, get thrown into the cleaner here, and then we can pull the supports off and take a look at them here in just a minute. Bear with me. Oh. Oh. Chris Long says he should dig his subs out again this summer. Yeah, it's I like the idea of a really simple sub game. Um, so I think that's gonna. Damn. All right. And there we go. So I just got a message from McMurray. He will be on shortly. Reese, is that Spanish American War behind you?
Philippine War, but very close.
Okay. Chris Long wanted to know. So, and
Philippine
then,
American War is my new project.
oh boy.
So,
Um, so the topic of the night is what do we like about, or what companies do we like, what games do we like, what rules do we like. Most, y'all know that I am a homer for Wiley Games. It doesn't hurt that they're great games, but it also makes it even better that I know the creator and game with him on a regular basis. So I I don't mind supporting him with shoving shekels his way to get game books and cards and all the happy little greeblies. Um, I also, of course, like Two Fat Lardies games. That being said, I've actually only played three Two Fat Lardy games. That's What a Tanker, Chain of Command in its various renditions, and Quadrant 13. But I really enjoy those three games, so I know I will probably enjoy the others as well. Um, I two rules that I want to look at getting is Kiss Me Hearty and Bag the Hun. I think um, I think both of those games would work well with the some of the models that I have or want to have. I'm wanting to get some tall ships. it's interesting. I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of Napoleonic ground warfare, uh, but I dig the naval combat. I think I think that uh, naval gaming is just all in all any naval gaming, whether it's ocean or space, because space combat games are nothing more than naval war games that have got they've taken the water away and put everything into a vacuum. So, but that's why I'm putting together a Cold War sub veneer over what a tanker. Because I love the idea of submarines, and I don't want it to be I don't want it to be to the level of like Harpoon, where it's just you put a couple of ships on the corners and you know triangulate with compasses and whatnot and roll to see if the torpedoes hit when you shoot them from 87 inches away. Um, but so yeah, Two Fat Lardies games, love them. Want to get more of them. Of course, I have everything that Wiley has done, except for I don't have Reloaded yet. Um,
Reloaded V2 or the original
Either
Reloaded?
I never had the original Reloaded, and I don't have version 2. Um,
I started
so
off
I need to rectify that. I mean, it's not like I don't know where he lives and I can go shove $25 at him and he hand me a book. I might just have to do that next Sunday because spoiler alert, that's where I'm gaming next Sunday with Jay and Jay, uh, my brother Jay and Jay Wiley. Jay Wiley is hosting. Jay, my brother Jay is running the game, and Jay Wiley is hosting it at his house. So, um, yeah, if I've got the extra $25 hanging around my neck, I might just have to go. Hey, I need to rectify the issue of not having Fistful of Flood Reloaded version 2 and get that taken care of. And then another game that y'all probably are aware that I really like, and that is Ambush Alley Games, Force on Force, and Tomorrow's War. Both of those, I thoroughly enjoy those rules. Um, I they're people call them skirmish because it's small units. Again, to me, Fistful of Lead in its original format of 5 guys per team, and each player has one team, and you're activating a single model. To me, that's true skirmish gaming. Where Force on Force is small unit activation, where you're activating fire teams. Um, yeah, it's skirmish because it's skirmish size. Um, because you're not,
it's
it's
skirmish
not
in
a
bigger battles is skirmish.
what's that?
It's skirmish in the way that bigger battles is skirmish, in
Right,
my opinion.
right. Yeah, Chris Long, Force on Force. He says Force on Force is his second favorite. His first favorite is Crossfire. Now, that's not a rule set that I've ever played. I've heard it many, 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 many times. Um, I love Full Thrust. Yeah, I was about to say another company that I have no problems um, hucking money at. And the great and what's even more amazing is I don't have to huck any money at, and that's Ground Zero Games. His rules are free to download. There's Mr. McMurray.
What what's up, guys?
Howdy, hi there.
What is going on?
Well, Reese is circling Mars um, because he's got that much of a lag between me saying something and him hearing me and then responding. So, um, Mythos, how you doing, buddy? Glad you could make it. What we're doing tonight is we're talking about games and game companies and other hobby related products and companies that we like to support because they're awesome. Um, yes, right there, Mr. Foss, Skull and Crown. Uh, Continue. What is it? Skull and Crown Stratagem. That's it. Skull and Crown Stratagem.
Skullandcrown.com.
Yes. Uh,
What I'm doing today.
Mr. Foss
McMurray, did you need
is
1/600 scale ancient ships?
I certainly have some. Why? What's up?
Virtual Armchair General has a bunch of them on clearance right now from his basement.
Really? Well,
Roman merchantmen all the way across, $3 a pop.
I gotta go look at that then. I've got a bunch of them, yeah. And I
I
think that's
just
like,
saying if it's something you need.
yeah, I got a bunch. Actually, yeah, I do. That's what all those ones I painted up, all my 3D printed ones that I have are 1/600. Shit. Okay, well, cool.
I'm gonna be that guy.
That's the thing. No, what do you mean you're not gonna be that guy? I need that guy.
No, I am gonna be that guy.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. All right. So I have painted up a lot of these things recently. They're not entirely constructed because I still need to do the rigging on these ones. I did do the rigging on a bunch of my Corsairs.
that
It's
looks nothing like a
What scale
Corsair.
are those?
right about 6 mil, roundabout, close enough to 6 mil. They work fine with 6 mil miniatures. But I only have rigging done on 4 of them, and I think I've got about a dozen to rig. Let's see here. Yes, right at a dozen to rig. So it shouldn't be too bad. They're nice. The holes are pre-drilled, so the easiest thing to do is kind of get the rigging thread through one side, around the mast, down the other side, pull them tight, glue a drop at the mast, glue a drop at each hole, and then you just wait for it to cure and come back and cut the excess off the bottoms, and then they glue together really well.
Not bad at all.
Nothing shake a stick at. I enjoy it. They are quite good. They are quite good. And now I'm doing all these markers. So let me get these unprimed ones out of the way here. These are crew markers and captain markers and everything else. I was not thinking about doing them as I went and did the ships. I think last week I was lining a bunch of these. Wasn't I, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing all the oars here with blue Sharpie, and I think last week I got all those done. I did just place a colossal order with Thomas also because the local guys were huge fans. So we placed a big order. There's probably 30 ships between a couple few of us.
Let me know next time you're making an Old Glory order.
Can do. I think I'm just gonna. I
And
got.
there's no
What's up?
There's no rush on that.
I know that, but I'd still want to get you your stuff, mainly because I want a paint buddy. It's entirely selfish
Well,
motive.
I've got 15 millimeter guys sitting in front of me right now. I'm basing up
Oh yeah, that's right. Hell yeah, dude.
because I've got the stuff I ordered from Noble Knight, but then I've also got all the stuff that I ordered from Virtual Armchair General.
Oh yeah.
So I've got Moros and Philippine Scouts in front of me right now.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
I am. I had forgotten about the gladiator style helmets that some of the Moros wore, and I am laughing my butt off at the
Yeah.
thought of a bunch of those guys charging a Gatling gun.
Yes, correct. Correct.
So
Well then, my Typhoon class
I
is
bought
bigger
my
than
local
my.
hardware store out of washers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know how that goes. They're just looking at you like you're insane because who needs this many 3/4 inch fender washers?
Exactly. Chris, you were saying? I'm sorry.
Says my wash bucket isn't big enough to hold my Typhoon.
What? Oh. Yeah, sometimes I gotta clean the supports off of big prints before I wash them. Which, by the sound of it, is what you're doing right now.
Yep.
Sometimes you still gotta do like one, flip it, do it again.
Well, luckily it went through the alcohol wash without a problem.
Oh, okay.
This is the rinse bucket.
Oh, okay. And is it water soluble or traditional resin?
Traditional resin. So
Oh,
like I said,
okay.
it got through the alcohol bath fine.
Yeah.
So
That's a good thing.
but it is a 1/1000th scale uh,
That's big.
Typhoon.
That is large and in charge.
Yes.
Holy smokes. Yeah, one
It's
1,000.
not something I would want to meet in a dark alley.
No.
Well, it would be the dark alley.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
What all companies have you guys covered?
Of course, Wiley.
Yep.
Um, Two Fat Lardies.
Yep.
Um, Ambush Alley.
Okay.
Ground Zero Games.
Yep. Solid.
Thomas Foss.
Yeah.
I was about to mention Special Artisan Service
Hell yeah.
because of not just because of the really cool basing material, but also he got some really cool miniatures also.
Yeah, if you need like modern miniatures, like right now modern
Yeah.
miniatures, he's
Yeah.
hard to beat. As well as I think he started selling like 15 or 3D printed 15 mil as well. And some cool stuff.
I didn't need to hear that.
It's not ACW or anything. You're good.
Okay.
There you go.
Uh,
There's my Typhoon.
That is big. Yeah, that's big. It's a big boy.
Yeah, she. Let's see here. So. About 175 millimeters long.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, it is. So, I printed them because I am doing uh, a reskin of What a Tanker.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, are we going full speed ahead on con sonar or what? Okay, that'll be cool.
I yeah, I like Con Sonar. It's just it's a little too fiddly.
I gotcha.
Um, and I want something that's well like What a Tanker.
Yeah. Honestly, what a tank
So
would work really, really well for that with the acquire and then the target dice and everything.
yep, yep. So here's my Los Angeles class with a uh, fouled tail.
It'll happen.
Oh
It's not
well,
happen on
life
this,
goes on.
but
I can't complain for a free STL.
exactly, exactly.
But to give you an idea of size difference, there is
Yeah, we have the 600 ship navy and the all eggs in one basket doctrine.
yeah, exactly. Well, I
If
do
you do a
have an
convention
alpha.
game of What a Seaman, you need to do the subs from down Periscope.
With
Yeah,
Kelsey Grammer.
yes.
Yep.
God, can you
Special
imagine?
rule, it sounded like an explosion.
I was about to say, can you imagine how small a Balau would be in that scale, Chris?
Yeah, it'd be tiny.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, give one side one Balau and the others, the American ships of that time, and give the other the Balau just all kinds of crazy rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiny target.
All right, and then here is an alpha.
Nice.
So again, not too shabby for free models.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely not. I've come to greatly appreciate free STLs. Speaking of small businesses and free STLs, Rengold has yet again gone absolutely ape shit with STLs and has put out like 4 or 5 armies in the last month and a half for
Good lord.
if you do 10 millimeter Lord of the Rings. Or you can
Yep.
also, I did confirm they print well at both 6 and 15 mil. Um, 28, they're chunky. They're a little chunky at 15, but that's fine. It's not. I'm not worried about it. It was more of a proof of concept at 15. They print great at 6. Um, but yeah, big fan. I was all scared, Chris. You'll appreciate this. A bunch of guys locally here also picked up Torpedoes and Tides, the new coastal game that Andrea Sigfoley put out. Ganesh Games is a good small company. But yeah, so they grabbed that. That's based on the Song of Blades and Heroes engine. And I was really, really worried because they're playing it in 1/600, which is perfect. That's a great scale for coastal actions in World War II. Um, but I was really, really worried. Like I could find a bunch of 1/100 and 1/300 scale figure stuff for free.
Right.
And I was like, oh God, what if these don't scale down well? And then I remembered that scaling Gukek stuff down to 1/4 size worked phenomenally well. And I was like, ha, never mind. We're good. We're good. Needless to say, these worked just fine. And it goes well with the. I have a bunch of old Davco 1/600 stuff that I got from that guy locally here. when Todd put out that short of me with the giant box of naval stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and there was a whole bunch of two different configurations of British V class destroyer in there. One that was long range escort setup, one that was an AA setup, Hunt Type 2, um, the kind of generic, nominally German tanker, and then a couple of Flower class corvettes and um, two really cool German like escort frigates, an F1 and a K1, or F1 and D1, that are pretty cool. That should work super well in that game. Um, but yeah, I'm quite excited to get that out and play that a bit. Um, Played some giant Lord of the Rings game, a giant Lord of the Rings game, and then I actually played Limeys and Slimies again yesterday night.
Yeah.
It was delightful. Limeys and Slimies is always fun. And the guy who really likes running it locally here kind of did a bit of a conversion for fleet battles. We played the Nile yesterday, um, which was quite delightful. He made it a little more playable as the French. He reversed their line so that they were pointing directly at the British. The trade-off there is they're also pointing directly at the wind, but um, he also then allowed them to, pull anchor and gave them full cruise. It was funny watching the traditional play style of some of our local gamers fall apart with, by all means, the most encouraged and effective tactic of the day is getting close and just pummel the shit out of something.
Right.
A lot of the local guys are not super comfortable doing that, and so it was rather entertaining to just do exactly that and just smash some stuff up. As the British, I was the British. I took on the French van, which was the rear end of the French line historically. Um, he had a rule in place where until the British got within long range, so 24 inches using, I don't remember what the scale models are. Either way, that's long range. That's extreme long range cannon shot. Until the British got within 24 inches of a French ship, it couldn't weigh anchor. So we kind of did the Trafalgar thing, where we engaged the French van really, really hard. And we wound up leaving, the last four ships in the French line just down at the end, and just captured six French ships of the line with my squadron, which was quite delightful. Combined a bit of the Nile with some Trafalgar stuff, which was quite fun. Went down the seaward side of the French line because I didn't want to risk hitting the shoals. Basically, the way he had it set up was if you were to pass between the nose of the French line and the coast, it was a D6 on a 1. You'd run aground, and I said I don't really want to do that. So instead, we just cruised down the seaward side of the French vanguard and then immediately turned to interpenetrate, getting simultaneous bow and stern rigs. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. The French guy who was playing the French rear was absolutely a standoff and shoot guy, kind of like the guy who was playing the other British squadron. So they kind of had some desultory fire down towards the other end of the French line, which I guess would be the east end. And just, it was wonderful. Absolute mauling and delightful game. Really, I mean, Kevin puts on a really good game, but it was entertaining, like I said, just to see the comparison. Okay, I understand how Napoleonic naval battles need to be fought. My opponent,
Yeah.
maybe not so much. Yeah. And they're like, what are you doing? It's like quite literally exactly what Horatio Nelson expected me to do. Lay my ship alongside that of the enemy. Like, we got in close and we smashed everything up. Like I said, at the other end, they just stood off and fired for a while, and eventually they got kind of close, and it devolved into a glorious 1st of June sort of thing where there were just ships going all over the place. Um, so that was not quite as decisive, needless to say, but we didn't lose any ships. So the 6-1 us capturing, I straight up captured 6 French ships, not just got them to strike. Um, it was good. It was
Outstanding.
took a bunch of them by boarding. Yeah, it was good. Man, I'll tell you what, getting in close, doing that stern rake with canister and a simultaneous bow rake with canister really means that then I took a bunch of them with a couple of frigates that I had. It was more an issue of just hopping over and dropping off a prize crew, it seemed like, than actually fighting because they were just smashed up.
Yeah. What rules did y'all use?
So, like I said, it was a limeys and slimies kind of conversion. Because limeys and slimies is really built for more of a blood and plunder sort of thing. So small ship or small boats with 28 mil.
Yeah.
But it worked pretty well. He didn't have the sail, like your rigging was not quite as sturdy as it probably should have been. Again, it's kind of a conversion that he's working on. But that was really a minor critique. So we did have ships that would get dismasted relatively quickly, but such is life. Whatever. It was fun. I had a great time. I think honestly, just about everybody had a great time. One of the guys that was there just never has a good time, so I don't really count him. But everybody else had a great time in spite of him, so that certainly is enough for me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, one guy there is just kind of a poopy pants. Really, it's a weird thing because he's a great game master. I've played in a bunch of his games. Not so wonderful to play with.
Right.
But I don't know, whatever. Such is life. It takes all sorts, I suppose. But yeah, for whatever reason, naval wargaming tends to pull out a very distinct group of, I really like naval stuff. Wargamers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And stuff like Napoleonic naval has been around long enough that I guess that's basically everything unless you're doing ultra modern, like playing Harpoon or something. But there's so many rule sets out there, and everybody's got their favorite rule set. I don't know. People have a tendency to want to really, really overcomplicate games, right?
Yeah.
Which I get. And those games are out there. Like if you want to play Post Captain, where you're allocating where your crew goes to, play Post Captain. It's a fun game. It's like I said, it's pretty high up there on the crunch factor in terms of you're allocating how much of your crew is going to gun crews, how much are going to your rigging, how many are going to boarding crews, stuff like that. But it is fun. The homebrew set that I made where everybody needed a protractor, I had a great time. But it's not exactly a club night sort of game.
Right.
Yeah, the protractor game was delightful. Like, I had protractors and compasses for 4 players because that's how the game was played. Like the focus of that game was true sailing. So if you're running a fore and aft rigged ship, your ship was you could sail a whole lot closer to the wind than in a traditional square rigged ship.
Right.
It was really fun. But I also then realized that there were maybe two guys locally who enjoyed that level of detail. Um, it's people try and do. It's like people who you're playing, say, Fire and Fury, and somebody wants to fire by prolong with their artillery, right? And even people who are very knowledgeable about the Civil War are like, "The fuck are you talking about? What the hell's fire by prolong?" Well, it's where you essentially fire a light, usually a horse artillery style of piece. And by horse artillery style of piece, I don't mean a specific cannon. I mean the setup of the caisson and everything else.
Right.
Where you fire your gun with the draft team rigged up to it. So you're essentially firing and reloading kind of on the move. That being said, it actually being documented and used in the Civil War is exceedingly rare. And
Right.
even
Yeah. Yeah.
in the exceedingly rare instance that it was actually, a situation that was needed on the battlefield, it being successfully executed was even less substantial. You know what I mean? Like, for example, at McPherson's Ridge, you would think that like Calif's battery on the first day would have fired by prolong coming off of McPherson's Ridge and stuff. Nope, didn't happen. Even though that's like the textbook example of when to do that, mainly because probably those artillerymen realized, yeah, we're not going to do that successfully. That's a terrible idea. We're going to pack this thing up and relocate properly like we should. But invariably, somebody at some point in time, if you play enough Fire and Fury or other Civil War games, somebody's going to go, well, can I fire by prolong? No, shut the fuck up. Like,
Yes, you can. Oh, you double charged the cannon exploded and killed all your horses. Okay, end of game.
it's just one of those, like, guys, just like somebody he was asking yesterday, like, well, it's really hard to hit rigging with round shot unless we're using chain or ball. And it's like, brother, this isn't a game where we, are RPing a gun captain. You're the admiral in charge of 12 ships.
Yeah.
Like, the
You're,
captain.
you're gonna expect the crew on that ship to do what needs to be done to fulfill your orders.
Exactly. Like, the captain of a ship isn't going to be directing gun crews to load bar or chain shot. Like, doctrinally, it's not really a thing in a fleet engagement for the British. I hate to say it. Like, just, it's not. No. 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 Incorrect. Not happening. And even for the French, it's like, oh, okay, fair, but you're also not going to fire at your maximum range with bar and chain. You know why? Because A, you're going to have no way to aim the fucking thing, and B, it's not even going to go that far. Like,
Right.
oh, but then it was the poopy pants guy. So then he was trying to claim he had stern and bow rakes at like extreme long range. It's one of those. All right, bud. Whatever, man.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
It's one of those. All right, buddy. You go ahead and do that. I'm still gonna smash you up real bad. That's fine.
Right.
Whatever. Well, do we get a bonus for first fire? No. Just fucking relax, man.
Do you look like a British musket line? Go away.
I mean, no. I mean, first fire was incredibly relevant in a naval circumstance. It's just, it's not. Again, we're commanding a fleet. We're not paying attention to this. We're barely able to pay attention to, okay, so this guy fired his starboard guns and eliminated a starboard gun on that ship. Okay. All right, cool. Okay. You've killed, 4 of my crew, 6 of my crew, 1 of which is a Marine. Okay, cool. Like, buddy, just the rules are the front and back of a piece of paper.
Right.
Relax. We're not whipping out kedging anchors so you can go against the wind here. All right. Whatever. Enough of that. I don't need to sit here and bitch about them all day. It's just one of those. What a poopy pants. That being said, honorable mentions for fun, small Age of Sail Gaming Companies. It's an old company, but it's still kind of small. Old Dominion Games makes Post Captain that I mentioned. They're the same
Yeah.
guys who do like General Quarters. Um, very fun. The rules are a bit of a pain to order because you get them loose leaf, and they are not 3-hole punched. But whatever, such is life. That's a good one. I can't remember the name of the company that makes. I think it's Sea Dog Games makes Sail Power. That's a cool little set of rules. Originally, they made a bunch of 15 mil ships, and then they kind of switched it over to 6, which is pretty cool. I'm actually playing in a couple of their games at Little Wars, so that should be fun. They also, you'll appreciate this, Chris. A lot of their stuff they 3D design in house, and some of the stuff they frequently 3D design are 15 millimeter Victorian sci-fi airships, like skids. Yeah, they are badass. If you get on their like Facebook and stuff, there's a bunch of posts of them. So I'm gonna need to stay far from that booth at Little Wars because the last thing I need is get into 15 millimeter Victorian sci-fi when I have a colossal collection of exclusively 28. Uh, although I guess I've got some 1200 also from Brigade, but that doesn't really count. But yes, yeah, they have done that. For a while there, I was trying to get them to sell me the files so that I could print them in 28. Because there are files out there for Martian skiffs in 28, which is pretty cool. I printed a couple.
Nice.
Yeah, I printed a couple of those, so they're pretty slick. Um, but yeah, they do pretty cool Sky Galleons of Mars style stuff in 15 that's 3D printed. Um, let's see. Man, I don't know the name of a bunch of these companies. That's the problem I'm running into. I can tell you the name of the rules.
Yeah.
Companies. That's fine. Let's see here. What are some other cool ones? This is goofy because I try and buy exclusively from small miniatures companies and stuff, and now I'm coming up empty. I'd call Oak small still. It might be on the big end of small, but
yeah.
I'd call them small.
So while we've been chatting, Jeffy has joined.
Hello, Mr.
Jeffrey.
X. Oh, and Ashley. Hi, Ashley.
Yep, Ashley and Greg have joined us. And Hissy Cat joined us earlier also.
What's up?
Welcome, everybody. This is something else I've been working on. Essex class carrier.
Ribs. Oh, nice. What scale's that?
That's 1/3000.
Outstanding.
And this particular STL had Corsairs.
Oh yeah, that's when you got that had Corsairs on the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's badass.
So I was working on that.
The
So
real question is, which of Essex is it?
what's that?
The real question is, which subclass of Essex is it?
It's a short,
Okay.
so not a big deal. I mean, at 1/3000 scale, it's what, maybe 2 millimeters, if that.
Yeah, they had kind of sort of different island configurations and eventually
Yeah.
they had different deck configurations. But doing a short, one of the first ones is fantastic for given that you're going to be using it for World War II, not Korea or later.
Right. So, but a little off topic, but Reese will appreciate this. Earlier today, I was driving around, and in Lee Summit, there is a horse boarding place, and when I read that on the sign, horse boarding, I immediately thought of a guy strapped to a wooden plank with a horse sitting on his chest. He's being horse boarded.
We call that man. Good gravy.
Oh, and
Check
then
for how long is. Yeah.
so I've got a couple more ships to get done. I like I like the color, the deck color I came up with. I think it works really
That's a
well
good one.
for that deck blue.
Hell yeah. Are you going to do the same lining like you did on your old Japanese carriers?
So I've got to figure out how to get the numbers on here without having decals,
Yeah.
and without it looking like it complete garbage.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm contemplating exactly how I'm going to do that.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That's reasonable.
no.
Would a stencil work?
Yeah, stencil would work. It's just a matter of getting it to be small enough
And then still being able to use it?
and still being able to use it. So
Could you
we
3D print a stencil?
Well, and that's the issue. I was going to say the same thing, except then the issue is it's got to be thin enough that you can actually utilize it as a stencil, but then also be sturdy enough to be handled and used as a stencil.
so instead of 3D printing, I happen to have like 3 or 4 Cricut cutters
Oh,
down here in the basement.
yeah, you got this.
So um, I'm gonna see if I can get that figured out and make it look good. But
All
yeah,
right.
that's the plan. Uh, so it's just I got to figure out how big those numbers are in reality and scale it down to 1/3000 scale. So should
I
look
would,
good. And then got I've got the rest of my Bretonians primed. What I mean by the rest of the Bretonians that I'm going to need to play Dragon Rampant, where a unit is 2 stands.
yes.
Um,
Does that mean
which
like Bretonian heavy cavalry and stuff is only one stand?
no, it'll be 2 stands. Because what we're going to do is when they break down to 50%, you just take one of the stands away.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be half-sized units.
Right, but it's just a representation of this is 2 stands is 100%. Remove a stand, it's now 50%.
Fair enough.
So, write on tape, then cut out the numbers. That's how he does. This is Chris Long. He says, write on the tape, then cut out the numbers. That's how he does my starships.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a possibility. I was also thinking of just printing something and cutting it out and just gluing it on top.
Fair.
There's some options. There's some options that I'm going to be looking into.
Certainly.
So, but yeah, like I said,
If we're still
what
talking about things that we appreciate,
yeah, go ahead.
Nordic Weasel, which
Yeah.
is now Ivan Sorensen, the main guy behind it's doing some stuff with some bigger companies, but his earlier stuff is still solid.
He did like 5 parsecs and stuff, right?
He did 5 Men in Normandy, 5 Core, 5 parsecs, 5 clicks from the Borderlands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My Brian, Mini Warmut has been doing a whole lot of 5 parsecs recently. He's having a ball with it. That is when he's not having Todd, Greg, Jeff, and I get beat up in 4 Against Darkness. We did.
Well, I used a modified 5 Core to run Way.
Yeah. And then you were doing a little campaign of that on Empire 54, weren't you? For a minute?
I have tried a couple different times to do a 5 Men in Normandy campaign. I keep coming up short because life happens.
No, it's all good.
But yes, I enjoy that rule set very much.
Yeah, yeah. The oh, there's one. I was watching some tiny YouTube channel, like Big Battles, Little Wars, or something like that. I don't know what it's called, but and I can double check the name of the rules here in a minute. But they're ACW rules that I really want to give a shot. He made it sound almost DBA like, where each side for all intents and purposes has like 8 infantry stands, a cavalry stand, and a couple of artillery stands, and that sounded really entertaining. Like I said, hang on, I'll find the name of the rules shortly here. But I didn't know if anybody had any experience with them. I can't. Like, I found them on Drive Through RPG / War Games Vault, but I can't find where anybody has like played them. It was kind of weird. His YouTube channel has tons of stuff on it. I kind of figured he'd have a little couple videos or something about it, but I couldn't find any. Just a sec here. I'll open up my phone here. Follow the flags. Easy and fast playing rules to battle and campaign during the American Civil War by William Browning. The name of the company is Big Battles, Little Worlds. There you go. Oh, there's another question for the Peanut Gallery. Has anyone played Midgard by not Two Fat Lardies, but they're not Rich Clark and Nick Skinner publishing Ricewitz? The guy who wrote them for Ricewitz, his the first thing he ever put out with it was a big Battle of Five Armies game, and after Little Wars TV put out their thingy showing them playing War of the Roses, it occurred to me, hey, that might be a good one for Lord of the Rings, because it's kind of designed to be like battles of lore sort of stuff, where you've got semi-mythic heroes. Like, I know that guys have done Trojan War and stuff with it. It's real utilitarian. I just was curious. It's one of those, man, I kind of want a physical copy of the rule book, but I don't really want to fork over the money and the shipping and everything else. So maybe PDF, but then I've had that issue where printing PDFs, unless I'm doing 2 or 3 copies, is usually not quite as economical as just buying a hard copy of the rules. But I do have that comb binder now, so that helps. That helps. I need Jeffy to live closer. He's got one of those like infinity printers or whatever that never runs out of ink.
Right.
So I need Jeffy to live closer so I can just go over to his house and print out a ton of rules and then comb bind them myself.
It would be nice. Either that, we need to figure out transporter technology.
Well, then I'd just order them from Two Fat Lardies and get them transported here, and I wouldn't have to worry about shipping.
Right.
But yeah. Oh, Bacchus. Great small company.
Very true.
Great small company.
Slinging facts there.
We were looking at doing some 6 mil to go along with Tommy's galleys. The issue that you run into is a lot of the stuff, the fighting in that period, like the Fourth Ottoman War, it's almost all like siege stuff.
Right.
The Ottomans roll up some island in the Mediterranean. They besiege a couple towns and a fortress or two, and then that decides it. So it's kind of one of those, I don't know. But the urge to do 6 mil Age of Lepanto type stuff is burning with all these 6 millimeter galleys sitting here. And then with, like I said, I think I got 12, 13, 14 more, including one of the galleasses, which has the great big, like, like early forecastle and stern castle on them, but the forecastle
Right.
little tower sitting up here, which is going to be just badass. Um, but yeah, I only have the one Laterna, which is this one, which is substantially bigger with two masts on it. Um, and it is substantially bigger than the galleons, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that uh, galleass. That's going to be badass. I've got a bunch, like I said, I think I've got four Turkish slash Corsair galleys and five galleots for them right now, and then a couple Spanish galleys and a Spanish galleot, and then two papal galleys and a Laterna, and then a papal galleot, and then just a random little Christian galleot, whether that's, I don't know, the one of the tiny little papal states in central Italy that contributed, or one of the tiny little Greek city states at the time that contributed a galleot, whatever it is. Um, but either way, I think the idea is we should have enough for, like, 8 to 10 players by the time this next order is completed, which could be badass with everyone having their own little 3 to 4 ship squadron. Um, which is going to be cool. Already did all the range sticks and stuff. I think there's 3 or 4 of us that have copies of the rules already. Tommy writes some good rules, whether they're for him or other people. Like his pirate rules are pretty delightful too. Ooh, there's one. Long Face Games. David Manley's stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Absolutely incredible, and written by an inarguable subject matter expert. Like, yeah, the man is a good enough modern and classical naval architect that he holds an honorary commission in the Royal Navy. Like, currently, subject matter expert achieved. And he's just a delightful fucking person. Yeah. I'd say the same thing if Mal Wright wrote War Games rules, but he mainly just does background stuff and is awesome. Um, let's see here. Who else are good ones? I have just shelves behind me of rule books and stuff written by independent rules writers. I'm trying to color these things in, and I'm not looking at it. Let's see. Battle Valor miniatures are delightful. That's just Ed Spedigue in his garage or his basement. Those are great. I would say regular, but Ian is finally retired. You can still get his 6 and 2 mil stuff. So regular miniatures does still exist, but mainly with those two ranges, possibly his 10 mil range at some point in time. But I think NAS is still working on getting all the 6 and 2 mil stuff into production. But those are outstanding. God, I love irregular stuff. They also do pretty good just quick play rules that they used to sell with their miniatures. If you can get your hands on any of those, whether it's Tusk or Riot or any of the like quick play Napoleonic, quick play World War II, Civil War stuff, those are pretty good. Bacchus, again, same thing with Polemos. Do a great job of just playable, attainable rules. Let's see here. What are some other rules that I've really, really, really been enjoying? I don't know if, I guess I'd just say random authors of Osprey Blue books. But, like, obviously Dan Mercy's stuff is always great. As well as, I think we covered Andrea Sigfoli. He's done a couple for Osprey as well as for his own company, Ganesha. Joe McCullough's games that he puts out through Osprey are great. Joe Sola
Oh, um,
at Savage Core or Savage
uh,
or Lucid
Zombie Smith.
Zombies.
Zombie Smith.
I'm not familiar with that.
This requires war.
Oh, okay, there you go. Let's see, Mike Demana. Whether you're playing his Osprey games or from his little rules company, First Command War Games, very fun stuff. I have his Wars of Insurgency rules, and then he's got Beaver Wars. Those are great. A lot of fun playing those. Wars of Insurgency is a really cool little rule book because it also then focuses on, just generating background for your forces in a modern, like, African imaginations thing, which is badass. He does a really, really good job of that. Your faction can be like a religious militia, a state-backed, like a foreign-backed government forces, like a populist movement. Uh, Good lord, shut up! Sorry. Yeah, quite good stuff. Big fan of his work as well. Big fan of his work. Let's see, who else?
Osprey books in general, not necessarily the rule books, but the reference books, very much appreciate those.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's their bread and butter, and there's a reason for it. They're very good. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know the company that wrote It Is Warm Work, but that's a fun game. That's a really good, like, fleet level Age of Sail game. That's the epitome of two guys can play Trafalgar in a day or in an afternoon.
Yeah.
That's super fun, super appreciated. RIP, shout out to the now dead Goose Games. What's up, Reese?
I'm going to pick your brain on some basing.
Yeah, what's up?
So, 15 millimeter scale guns.
Yep.
Single figure bases in general. Do I base one figure with the gun and then base the rest of the crew separate? Or do I just base the gun separate and then all the crew individual?
I usually base the gun individually to the crew or separate from the crew. That way, if I want to put it on a different side, I can put different crew around it. And then if you ever have,
Okay.
or a game where you want a capture the gun thing and you want the idea of a gun being abandoned and maybe turned around, which especially in small scale
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Like in small scale skirmish where you got single based stuff and they truly represent a guy or, two or three guys, that's really a solid little game mechanic to toss in there for scenarios.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also got a string of pack mules with a 2-inch Hotchkiss gun on them
Oh, disassembled on them?
today.
That's-
Yes.
That's badass. That is awesome.
So they will probably be scenario pieces more than anything, but
Oh, yeah.
they're just cool.
Oh, yeah. I've got some Gashants, so the Victorian sci-fi Mars like pack creatures. They look kind of like reptile pontons. I've got some of them with I got a team of them with a Maxim and stuff down on, or a Gatling on them, as well as then a mountain gun. Same thing. They're scenario pieces, but they're too cool not to do. Oh, Perry. Jesus, how did I forget Perry? If you need, figures for stuff that A, they make, or B, isn't necessarily super easy to find, like car list war stuff, Boer War stuff, as well as just their, World War II lines. And their American Civil War line is really good too. And I want to say at least
Have you seen their Bushwhacker figures in 28?
Yes,
They're fantastic.
they are. They are. They do a really good job of getting stuff like that. They don't necessarily, just make a ton of, generic Union infantry, Confederate infantry, but they'll do the stuff that you can't really find anywhere else, and that you really want, like, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 figures of, and they're gorgeous. Like that's where I got all of my Anglo Zulu gore guys in shirt sleeves that I painted up for the Warp Drift scenarios, so the hospital patients. Those are all Perry's. Um, they do a bunch of cool Western desert stuff for World War II, like Italian guns, and their L-33 uh, model is fantastic. It's very nicely priced, and I want to say the last time I ordered from them, they refunded my VAT also, which was always cool. Um, One of the only other companies I've ever had that did that was Irregular, and then Bacchus does it. They have VAT and non-VAT pricing, which is pretty slick. I really appreciate when companies do that because they don't. That's part of what pisses me off about Warlords. Fuck you, USA. 26% is they're already not paying VAT on it.
Right.
And yet, for whatever reason, they still feel the need to add the extra 26% just because fuck you. Hang on. I'll be right back. I need to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. That's really annoying. That's really annoying. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but he needs to knock it off. All right.
Is he hitting the wrong button on his radio or what?
No, he's probably set his camera down. That's all.
Ah.
But hey, later walkabout later, Ashley.
Take care, guys.
At first, I was going to try and do each of these ships' tokens differently. And now I realize that I'm going to have way too damn many of them to do that with. A, because there's 12 tokens per ship, and that would suck. And B, like I said, if there's going to be 30 or 40 ships aside, it's a lot of brain power trying to wrangle, okay, nope, crap, I already did this color scheme, crap, I already did this color scheme. I think we're going to go fairly generic here, which I'm okay with. I'm not worried about that.
I'm thinking my Moros white and try to do most of them in speed paint or contrast paint.
That should be pretty simple. What kind of, what colored clothing do they usually wear, like their shirts and stuff? Just kind of a generic tan? Or white?
So their shirts are you're either running around shirtless,
yeah, that makes sense.
or in some sort of white, red, or blue tunic, or yellow.
Okay.
Or some of them had chainmail on.
Yeah, I knew that. Those are all pretty effective speed paints, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm thinking too. Is their native garb is going to be pretty easy, like the bound arms and bound legs and stuff will be pretty easy to do. Loincloths, and then the shields are all kinds of funky colors too.
Yeah.
So it's metallics, flesh tones, and then primary colors.
Done. Like that's made for speed paints. Especially, dude, again, the nice thing is, especially in like small scales, where normally with 28s, if you've got big open spots on your models, speed paints look really bad because they have the potential for tea staining and stuff. On smaller figures, you don't have to worry about that because just the normal details on a 15 or a 10 or a 6, there aren't large enough flats on most of those figures for it to make a difference.
So that picture, the guy on the horse I sent you,
Uh-huh.
the horse is a light tan color, with a flesh tone speed paint over it to get that dappled roan color on the horse.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought it did pretty well.
Yeah, I think it looks great. Um, I think it looks great.
So, and that's something I can mass produce on horses.
Y- Yes,
So,
which is nice because I can't stand painting horses. Your 15s look great, man. I think I told you that. Or
thank
crap,
you.
I didn't tell you that. They look great. I love them. I'm happy that you didn't have that stumbling block that a lot of people have of going from painting big figures to small figures. I know that's
Well, I started out block painting 54s and doing a horrible job of it. So I just block painted the 15s and call it good.
well, that's fantastic. Black paint washed to success, baby. Done.
So we'll see how it goes. I have not figured out how to mass produce them yet. Those were single figures for testing paint jobs.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about getting some popsicle sticks and some poster tack and just going to work.
Popsicle sticks and blue tack are exactly what I would recommend. Put all of your, like especially once you get the Old Glory stuff, there's going to be repeat sculpts. That's fine. My advice would be put all the same sculpts next to each other on the popsicle sticks because it just
Okay.
it eats away a lot of the. You'll or I at least for myself. Your mileage obviously may vary. Um, I tend to get a little bit of a. It reduces. There's no mental strain on. Okay, crap. Where's this guy's rifle? Okay, let me make sure I got this canteen or pack. Oh, you don't have one on there. What have you? That's not a thing because you do one, and then
Even
you
if
know,
I'm doing separate color uniforms.
yeah, because you're like something's going to be the same on all of
Okay.
them. Like even if it's just the rifles in the same place. Ah, crap! I missed the butt of this guy's rifle, or I missed this side of this guy's rifle. Um, it's not something you got to worry about if you establish it on one figure and then you just go with the rest.
Most of my virtual armchair general guys are the same pose.
Exactly. Yeah. So just orient them all the same way with all the same scope on the stick. Prime them. You'll start smashing them out super quickly. Um, that's how
Sounds
I
good.
that's how I did most of my like my World War II single base 15 mil guys, and that's how I wound up doing my painting Flames of War on sticks. Originally, I would do a stick and put the figures that were going to be based together, and that's when I ran into a lot of oh crap, I missed this on this guy. Oh, I missed this on this guy. Like maybe they've got a hand tucked behind them grabbing something or whatnot. And
Yeah.
missing, it would drive me nuts. When I got all the same figures together, that was not an issue anymore because I knew, oh yeah, okay, that's right. This stick or these 4 or 5 guys on a stick. 'Cause you can cram a bunch of 15s onto a popsicle stick if you get the big ones. Um, it's super helpful. It's just so much less you need to worry
So
about, and it eliminates the possibility of a lot of stuff. It's
I need to figure out a rough estimate of how many guys I actually ordered from you
I can
and make sure I have enough washers.
tell you that in just a moment. Let's see. Let's go grab your.
Because I'd like to have those painted by the end of May, probably.
Oh hell yeah!
That's a big goal, but
Eh. At the same time, like I said, I like part of the reason I like 15s is because when you can get in the groove and just dedicate. It doesn't have to be big long stretches. I tend to go with my weird 12-hour days. I tend to go, okay, I have 2 days off and I'll paint, 10 or 12 or however many hours in those 2 days, and then not do much on my work days. But especially with 15s, because you don't necessarily need a ton of time to get stuff done because you can paint really quickly.
Okay.
the possibilities for, oh well, I'm gonna do, one color on these sticks tonight, and then another one the next night. 15s batch painting them is a great way to you know do that death by 1,000 cuts of your lead pile. It's
Well, and I've got a ton of terrain I'm trying to paint right now too.
yeah, you
Um,
got badass terrain.
well, my vegetation and stuff is done, but
Yeah.
all the cabins and the buildings and stuff is needing to be painted.
hmm
Um,
Yeah. Those are some cool ones to just hold on to when you crap, I can't look at these figures anymore. Aha, I have this. Let's do this today.
that's one of the reasons. One of the reasons why I was trying to get into Moro Rebellion and Philippine American War too, is that
hmm
gives me something else to look at or think about too. Um, but all my terrain is currently built and spray painted. It's just not, the details aren't done.
Hell yes.
So I take that back. My seminary building that I'm going to use as a courthouse is not spray painted yet because the dang thing won't stay together.
That's weird.
So
What'd you glue it with?
it's not the glue; it's the actual construction of the model. It
Oh.
it relies heavily on 2 or 3 small little connection points to hold 3 sub assemblies together.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So, and I do have the gatehouse for you.
Oh yeah.
I haven't built it or anything. I was just going to give it to you flat.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I've got a bunch of stuff for you.
Oh baby, same. let's let's see.
Meandering Mike had a comment on the seminary building. He says you forgot to consecrate the glue.
Yeah, right. That'll get you
Something like that.
every time, buddy. Every
I'm
time.
also trying to figure out how to brick pattern on that because they're mostly smooth walls.
Honestly,
I guess I just need to order the Sarissa brick pattern stencil.
or Reese, go put a couple bricks down on the ground. Like if you got 5 bricks or something laying around, put 5 bricks on the ground, then walk 300 feet away and look at it and tell me how closely you can see the edges of the bricks.
That is true. I'm thinking of, because I'm basing this building on the Independence Courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're right.
Like it would be cool, but again, we're in 15 mil. I wouldn't worry too much about it. You're gonna see it a lot more because there's like buttresses on that thing, aren't there? Real small ones, or is it just straight sided?
I can't exactly remember.
That's fair. My
Hang
point
on.
is doing like the lintels over the doors and the windowsills and stuff, and the framing is gonna look awesome. And when you do that, you set it on a table and you take a step back, it's going to look fantastic like that. If you wind up trying to do, brickwork on it, sometimes that just makes your building look almost fuzzy as you're looking at it, or
Okay.
extra dark. Because ultimately, even a white object, when you put it far enough away, it just looks black. Because it's just how your brain looks or perceives stuff.
So maybe do a dark red on it, like a dark brick red, and then dry brush a lighter color on top of it, maybe, or
Yeah, yes.
just leave it dark red.
Either one. I mean, the dry brush will certainly help you because bricks aren't shiny, but they do tend to catch light pretty well. That'll certainly, yeah, no, I mean, that would by all means be like my base coat. And like I said, I'd come back in and hit the I would be shocked if it didn't have windowsills and stuff on it. But yeah, uh, there's always detail.
Or even just go in with a white line and outline the white.
Yep, exactly.
So,
Yep.
and then it's got the two different staircases. It's got the front staircase and the back staircase. Then I'm going to try to do like a light stone color.
You could, yeah, I was about to say, especially
And
on
then the turret on top, I'll do the light stone color too.
Yep. I'm sure you could, do a line just on the top flat of the casing around those stairs for the, a ballast or banister of some sort that I'm sure is not going to be brick, but would be some sort of flagstone maybe, if not straight up wood. But yeah. Yeah. Again, the big thing with that is whatever you prime it black first. Or at least that's generally what's done far best for me. Like most of my MDF, in order to minimize the amount of I'm struggling for words, but minimize the amount of see-through that you're going to have for the dark colors, especially on the corners of buildings where you get the burned edge of the MDF. I've found that, you can either prime like 5 or 6 or 7 times with a light color. I've had wonderful, wonderful, wonderful success with super high opacity black or really dark brown paints. Put one layer of those on and then just hit them with, your tan or even a white, and that tends to work far better and not waste paint and what am I going for here? To a certain extent, you can lose detail sometimes, depending on like if you've got etched detail on your MDF. Most of the time, that's not super deep, but it can really get obscured when you hit it with 6 or 7 layers. One of the cool things about MDF is, like on those Thomas Foss ships, you can see priming. It's not hard to keep the lines black. It almost just naturally does it with how spray paint works, and so it really helps. You're not going back and necessarily washing things. You're not having to blackline anything. It's almost already there, which is super nice.
I might have messed up a little bit then because I've already primed most of my clapboard houses and things like that white.
Yeah.
But I did some of them in a dark brown. So
that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. How would you mess that up?
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know if it obscured detail or something of that nature.
Probably not. I think you're going to be fine, especially with like clapboard. Those are pretty big details, so it's not like you're losing hairs or anything. It's for stuff like when you do have like brickwork and stuff on them. Sometimes that'll get a little jacked up. Because there, it's really helpful.
I've been going over the windows with a super light gray contrast paint.
There you go.
It's popping them out.
Nice. That's smart. That's awesome. That's pretty.
I'll send you a picture of it later when I go back downstairs. But
oh yeah, man.
I think I have the church. Well, I gotta finish like the front step of the church. I've got the church done.
Nice.
And then I'm going to try to build everything around that.
Nice.
So, I did get some more JR Miniatures 28mm roads in.
Outstanding.
Those are hard to come by.
They are. You're finding them.
But I'm about to, well, I shouldn't say this out loud on the internet, but I know y'all won't stab me in the back. I'm going to wait for next paycheck, and I'm going to get JR Miniatures trench system coming in.
Nice. That's going to be bad.
And use that for 20mm Vietnam fire-based defense stuff.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm trying to make sure that my terrain is always outstanding and my figures are kind of meh. So that somebody looks at my table and goes, "That looks great," and they don't look too closely at the figures. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
that's where I'm at.
Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, that's how I can figure out where a bunch of those. I was sitting here trying to Google some of these rule sets to figure out the little companies, and then I realized I could probably just log into my Wargames vault and get most of those answers.
That's a good idea.
I'm not a smart man. Let's see.
Have you looked at Virtual Armchair General's 15mm ship lines?
Oh, geez. Let's see here. Virtual.
Because I'm thinking about maybe doing some of that too.
Virtual Armchair General. I think I have, but let's look at it anyways.
His website's decently hard to navigate, but
Oh, yeah.
he's a decent guy and he's in Oklahoma City. So when he ships things to me, they're here like 2 days.
Oh yeah. No. I've ordered stuff from him before. When I first started doing all of the 15mm Age of Sail stuff, because he has a bunch of the Houston. A bunch of the 15mm Houston guns and everything. Oh, he does. He's got a paddle gun boat coming. Or no, that's already here. Paddle gunboat, screw gunboat. Oh wow, wow.
His paddle gunboat has caught my eye. And he also does Moro canoes. Like the big war canoes.
Yeah, that paddle gunboat looks good. That paddle gunboat looks good. I'm not a huge fan of the screw gunboat. Merchant brig looks kind of cool. The steam launch is badass. Let's see, native warships page.
What do you not care about with the screw gunboat? Too
Oh.
short?
Let me relook at it in a second here. You looking at the Cora or the Salisipan? That's wild. That's super cool. Holy shit. I do not need to do this particular brand of naval.
No, you're not going to. I'm going to do it, and then you're going to play it.
That was cool. Let's see here. On the screw gunboat. Oh, my bad. I was looking at it thinking that it was just flat topped. The railings like that on the stern and the bow aren't necessarily my favorite. He's got the paddle wheel gunboat, kind of in that lower clipper style that I really like. If
Okay.
you had essentially a clipper gunboat, or the side wheel. If the side wheel gunboat minus side wheels was the screw frigate, that'd be a little bit more to my liking. That side wheel gunboat looks wonderful, though. I did not need to fucking see that.
I'm sitting here really thinking about getting it
Yeah. Let's see here.
because I think it would work for Civil War too.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That's why I was looking at it. Yeah, no, it would absolutely work for Civil War. Yeah, see, he's got all of the Houston guns. Old Glory has a few of them. He has all of the Houston naval, or all of the Houston guns, including the Victorian sci-fi stuff. If you go down far enough, which is super fucking cool.
He's got Gatling guns on naval mounts and things like that too.
Yup. So again, a lot of
which
those
is
are what I used in that 28 millimeter Victorian sci-fi airship game. Those are all the Old Glory
okay.
line of Houston naval guns. He just doesn't have
Okay.
quite. He's got more of them. He's got, like I said, he's got the complete line. Old Glory has some of them. Um, yeah, but he's got like the one. There it is, right there. The 1 pounder pom pom, also known as.
Hmm.
Well, we took this Maxim gun and we basically just yelled, "Get bigger!" and it did. And we have now. Um, I mean, that's one
Wait,
A.
he's got a 1 pounder pom pom.
Oh yeah, and a couple different mounts.
Where at? I'm not seeing it.
If you go to the Houston 25 millimeter, well,
25 mil.
28.
Okay.
It's 28.
Never mind.
Sorry, yeah,
I see it now.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, those are what I used for my.
Yeah. Can we make this Maximum gun shoot 1 pound shells from our Hotchkiss revolver?
Actually, I take that back. Look at all of them. Click on them. I think he 3D prints them because the prices are all for 128 mil or 215 mil. Let's see. Where did I see?
But if you notice, he's 3D printing a bunch of this stuff now.
Never mind. Maybe not for some of these. Let's go back up and try and find that one. I don't know that. Oh yeah, yeah. It's product. Oh, that's the AA kind of mount. Okay. It's product number WC-04, and then you can specify the desired scale to be 15 millimeter. And then, like I said, I think you get two of them for $2.
That's stinking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can do the same thing with like the Hotchkiss 37s, which are really, really cool guns. Again, just
Have you seen his Rum Runner lines of 28 mil like coastal ships?
I think so. Let me double look.
Okay.
Oh shit! I don't know. One of these, or finally saw one or two things when I first looked at them. Damn, those are good. Like that trawler looks amazing. Jesus. Oh man.
His potato diggers on a wheeled cart might have to come home with me.
Yeah, that's a cool gun. Oh man. Oh no, there's still a patrol boat. God, that's awesome. Oh man, that patrol boat. The one that he sold looks really good, but the one that he still has looks amazing also. Oh god. Damn it, Reese. Let's see here. Oh, that's not even that.
And you haven't even looked at the stuff in his bargain bin that I told you to look at earlier.
Oh shit, no I haven't. Oh man, he's got one of the like Chris Craft James Bond boats too. Those are just cool. Let's see here. I think I looked at Send a Gunboat already. I did. That's good. I think it's the Bahoys, which is a really cool line also. They're like think Gangs of New York stuff.
Right.
They're pretty slick. Let's see here. Let's go look at the bargain bin.
You're making me want to get a couple of those paddle wheel gunboats and then just get an absurd armament and just set them on them. Like put a big mortar on the front of one, or for whatever reason, and then.
Oh, he still does have a couple of these, doesn't he? Or no, I think he's got a bunch of them. Yeah, there's 12 of them. Oh god.
I'm not helping you at all, but
No, those are awesome. I'm gonna 3D print those. I don't need to spend like $70 on merchant ships. I do not need to do that. I do not need to do that. I do not need to do that. Oh yeah, that was one of the other cool ones. Um, figures. Oh, did you see his 54 mil stuff? I would assume you're intimately familiar with it.
I have seen some of his 54 mil.
Yeah.
It's mostly just terrain from what I've seen, though.
It probably is. I think you're right. Um,
And it's like cardstock terrain, which is awesome.
yes. Absolutely. Oh, that's what I was looking at when we were thinking about doing like oddball sword in the flame. We were talking about using the Chris in the flame, and then we realized, hang on, we don't need to do that. That'd be ridiculous. There's no reason to get that wildly into it. Let's see here.
Have you played a lot of Sword in the Flame?
I've played a good amount of it. I'm not sure exactly how 100% True Rules is written. It was because it was with guys locally here who tend to kind of monkey with stuff sometimes.
Okay.
It's fun.
I've always heard about it, but I've never played it.
You need a shitload of miniatures.
I saw a really neat game with 54mm Sword in the Flame Northwest Frontier that involved elephants.
Yes, again, it's cool. They're not modern rules.
Okay.
Just to get that right out of the way to start with, they are not modern rules. They're fun. I've never had a bad time playing them, but they are not modern rules. Oh, did you see these?
What are they?
I'm trying to find what it was. 15 millimeter Pericardus alive or Raisuli dead.
Yes, yes, I did. Look at the U.S. naval crew with the tall mounted potato diggers. It's straight out of The Wind and the Lion.
Yes, it is. Holy shit.
And if you look at the character figures, Pettigras is not a male. Pettigras is a female, just like Wind and the Lion.
Yeah.
So he went hard on the Wind and the Lion aesthetic.
Yeah, that's not bad though. I enjoy the fact that they're
Oh,
U.S. naval landing party, even if they're 12 of the same sculpts. That's fine. I don't care.
I stole that movie from my dad. You know those old like cheap paper box DVD cases?
Yeah,
He had it in one of those, and I took it to college with me, and I have never given it back.
that's reasonable. If we need it, we ask for it.
I was like, it's like, what do you need it for? I was like, I'm gonna pause it and paint figures based on it.
Yeah, it's nothing things.
You're weird. Take it.
Yeah, I need it for research purposes. It's for school, I promise.
I want to see Sean Connery play a Moroccan Berber.
Yes,
What else do you need to say?
quite literally nothing. Yeah, that sums it up.
I need to go watch that movie again.
It's a good movie. It's on.
No, I don't. I don't need to go watch that movie again because then I want to drag out my 54mm U.S. Marines, and I don't need to do that.
That's actually a very good point. But maybe sometime when you won't be able to get them out of there.
I have 54mm Marines and 54mm Arabs
Oh,
and desert terrain,
I know.
so
There
I
it
can
is.
do it.
There's one that I've got. Boilers and breech loaders. The sword and the flame. What do you call it? Like naval gunboat rules. Those are pretty fun. I think I only played that once. It's a little. You can tell it's plainly not what Sword in the Flame was built for, but it's a cool.
Okay.
It's a cool period, and a dude that used to He's passed on now, but he was a big sword in the flame guy. Like that was his thing was like specifically the Modest Rebellion, and then he also did a bunch of Zulus. But yeah, so he had all kinds of like Nile River gunboats and stuff, and we played boilers and breech loaders once, and that was pretty fun. I'd have to entirely restart reading the rules at this point, but oh yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to be looking at what all 15s you have.
Sorry, we got off track there. I'm really thinking about this 15 millimeter paddle wheeler
Yeah,
and the merchantman.
yeah. All right, let's see here. There it is. This is a large old box with a couple extra books inside. Okay.
What books did you put in there?
That A4 black powder, and then I have a spare copy of the black
Yes.
powder Civil War book. Yeah, the ones we talked about.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I picked up. I just wanted to tell you I picked up Rebels and Patriots, so you didn't have to worry about that one.
Oh, outstanding. It's a fun one. Let's see here. We've got. You want to get a piece of paper out. American Rifleman with scopes, that's 6 figures, but I wouldn't necessarily count those towards that total. The infantry.
Hang on just a second. I'm going to open my notes.
There you go.
Okay.
I think the cavalry are 15 each. Like
Okay.
the mounted cavalry. But so there's 3 packs of infantry or cavalry so far. Hang on. I'm gonna kind of get all
You
this.
know, I
up.
could just pick up. I could just pull up the screenshots that I sent you and just work.
Yeah,
off
that's not
those
as cool though.
instead.
'Cause I'm actually having a lot of fun pulling all these things out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is fun.
Okay, hold on real quickly, guys. I just was notified that I am coming up to my limit because I'm on the free plan currently.
Okay.
So we're going to have to wrap it up.
Okay, Reese, you have 7 packs of cavalry. 4 packs of, or 2 big packs of infantry. 3 big packs of infantry, and then
I'm sure we can talk after the live show ends too.
yes, correct. That's a good point. Yep. All right. Bye, guys. See you, Polly.
Take care, guys. No outro music. So until next time, we will see you on the flip side. Take care.
Down, 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 down.